Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are in this world. Hope everyone is all right. Plenty of things are going on in the world at the moment. I hope everyone's safe. Welcome to this weekly episode of the Managersim Phoenix series. I'm your host, Mark Donut Doney. Hope, welcome back to the series. And I'm just checking a couple of things are working all right. Yeah, they are. And welcome back. And today we'll have a much shorter episode, just telling you what's been going on in the game world since the last episode, which was now 7 days ago. The game date has moved since then. It's now Saturday, 16th of February 2019. The leagues are definitely happening. Various things are going on. We'll do a check around the leagues. But as always, what we do first is that we are going to check on the Youth Academy top 10. And here we go. The top 10 Managersim Football Youth Academies countdown. And we start off back into the game. We start off at number 10 and we go into England with a youth factor ranking of 0.42. But again, these rankings are to do with various factors in the game. It's how Burnham finds out who are the top 10 youth academies. So 0.42, 10th place, we go to England and we go to Birmingham City, who are currently in the Championship, and they are currently 5th place. And here they are under Enric. And we'll just have a quick look at their players. And again, some really good youth players coming through there. Again, sadly, I have to report no one has actually sent me any reports about any good youth players coming to their side. So again, I have to make some assumptions here of good players coming through by just looking at their ages. Coming here, I don't see that many ages actually through Birmingham's side. Is Akbar? Yeah. Oh no, he's a loanee from PSG. So yeah, Birmingham are 10th. So again, I will have to go through each side generally quite quickly, and then just see if I can spot anyone. 9th, I think, is a pretty recent new entry, and we actually go to France, and we go to Lille, currently in 5th place. Under Julian Adam, you can see they're currently 9th, and we'll look, and he's had there's quite a few young players in here actually, so I'm hoping that a lot of these players are youth players. Yep, this guy is. And Hoist, is he a youth player? No, he's from Man United. So again, I'm just generally just guessing if some of these are youth players or not. There's a good youth player there. Because people are not sending reports on who they think are their really good youth players. This is a really good youth player actually. Filippo. Yeah, he's doing really well. So this could be a potentially good player for the future. Again, it would be good to look at those previous players that we looked at before in episode 9 to see how well they are actually now progressing. And I will do that actually, I think, in maybe episode 11, go back to some former really good youth players and see how well they're doing. We have not got a top 10 actual youth players list this week, sadly. So we've only just got the youth academies, hence why the episode actually is going to be a little bit shorter today. But again, please, people, please send me how your youth players are actually, or former youth players are actually getting on, so we can actually go and have a look at them. We go to 8th and we go to Poland, and we go to a side who I can never pronounce, and under Dr. Art, he's been featured in the top 10 before, and his players here, he's got a lot of stamina issues though. I can spray away spots, so I wonder when he's been on last. But he's got a full academy, which means he's investing a lot of money in, and hopefully some of those players will eventually come into the side. We've got potentially some youth players here, I think. Yes, he's definitely a youth player. And we've got another one here. Yep. But he's got massive stamina issues there, so I wonder what's happened there. He's been on... Oh, he was on today. Okay. I'm sure you know what you're doing. 7th, and we go back to England, 0.5 rating, and this is K at Liverpool. Liverpool have been definitely featured in the top 10 before. K, very good manager. Just notice he's had 20 wins and 7 losses, no draws. Yeah. K's expanding his club, and he's got some good youngsters coming through. Knight, Bates, I'm guessing they're both his former youth players. Yes, they are. Really good ratings as well. He's got some 17-year-olds popping here. So it looks like he's investing a lot of his youth players. Oh, wow. Yeah, Michael Duffy. I can remember Michael Duffy from a previous episode. So he's still an England international. He's had just one cap, but he's only 17 years old. So Kay's doing an amazing job there. He's getting some really good youth players coming through the academy. 14 out of 15. So his youth academy is almost full. He's got some players on loan now. Some really good players here. So that's Liverpool. They're 7th. We now go to Italy. And this side's been featured already in the youth list, and they're still here. Vitrus under Andre. Vitrus are doing really well in Italian League. They're 2nd, and he's got quite a few good youngsters coming through, as you can see here, by their ages, 16, 17 years old, and good stats. So he's got quite a lot of his youngsters coming through. So these are going to be he's going to do really well, especially when they're likely to get promoted this season into the top league, or the Italian top league. And then we got 5th now, 0.56 rating, and we go to the Faroe Islands, probably one of the hardest leagues to manage because of limited grounds. And Drefrid, still a great name. And 07 Vestdrill are in 5th place, and again, this is a great opportunity to put your youth players into Faroe Islands, because most of the Faroe Island players' values are literally the same as a youth player and who comes in. And he's got potentially some good youth players coming through. I did not pick one there, but I'm sure there's a couple that might come through here. So brilliant potential there. In 4th place, we go to Turkey and Galatasaray on the 0.75 rating. They're currently 2nd in the Turkish league, and under Özcan, so he's been featured before in this chart rundown, so they're still there. And as you can see there, a lot of 17, 16-year-olds, which means he's got a lot of his youngsters coming through. Gofek, I think, is a youth player, yes, and he's done really well. And again, I'm just assuming that these are youth players because no one's actually sent me any reports. And to be fair, no one sent me any articles. So I'm guessing people are just not interested, which is fair enough. But I will keep doing these episodes as much as I can. I've got certain things going on in real life now, which is more important. But I'll do these when I can because I know people do enjoy them. We'll go to the top 3, and in 3rd place we go to Iceland, another hard league, and Kefik and Z, who are known from the Swedish leagues and Elfsborg. He's got a lot of 16, 17-year-olds in. He's got a really big squad of 42 players, so he's just on the borderline of having board warnings again. If you didn't watch last week's episode, Burden has now put the board warnings in. So if you get any of these up to 8, you will get board warnings, and they will take points off your manager points. And if you keep ignoring them, you will be sacked. So he has warned everyone. So yeah, see, he's got quite a lot of good 16, 17-year-olds here. Yeah, see, of course, is Fritz. Another Fritz account. It's also sad to see that my friend who joined from the Twitch stream has actually left, because he was in, I think he was in Iceland, but I think he's actually resigned. Yeah, he's not managing. He left over a month ago. Oh, that's sad to see. 2nd, and who were top last week, are now 2nd with a rating of 2.5. The Icelandic side had 1.6, which is really high, but we've had a 2.5 rating, and it's Sandhausen, currently in 2nd place in the Youth Academy, and they're also top of 2nd Bundesliga, doing really well there under Rao. As you can see here, he's spending a lot of time expanding the stadium, so he must have quite a bit of money, because expanding stadiums now are not cheap. You can see he's got some 16, 17-year-olds, and it's quite a small side as well, so a really compact side. It looks like he's doing really well here. Yeah, stadium capacity is now a lot more expensive. I can't show you here in Tbilisi because we just haven't got the fan base. We've got a 55k stadium, but we on average have about 10k people watching our games, even less. Hence why we're struggling a bit. But yeah, he's got some really good 18, 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds in the side. So he's putting a lot of his youth players into the side, so that's good to see. But top of the table, and quite a way ahead now with 4.9 on the Youth Academy rating. 4.9, that's 2.4 more than 2nd place. Second place is on 2.5. He's on 4.9. And remember, third place, the Icelandic side, is on 1.6. So it's a massive jump up. And that is actually Leeds and Roland. And we'll talk more what Roland's been doing in the game, because he's been doing a really, really fun youth cup. We'll report on that later on. But it's Leeds United side, are 6th place currently. And we'll see his side. He's got a world-class academy. His stadium's going up. So he's got money to spend here. And you can see he's had some youth players come in. Sheringham is definitely one. I think these two goalies could be youth players. No, he isn't. Vassal, yeah, he is. Another 16-year-old there, another youth academy. So that's 4 youth academy players already in. And there's some other 17-year-olds here. Is this a youth player? No, it's the real. And let's try this 16-year-old Heskey. Yeah, Heskey. Yeah, there you go. And he's got potentially some more decent youth players coming in. So he's definitely spending. It looks like to me that he's got a lot of money to spend, because he's expanding his stadium, which isn't cheap in this game world. It's a lot more expensive than the older game worlds, and also he's spending a lot of money into his youth academy. And also he bought a player for an international from Cardiff for 6.5 million. Which probably sounds like it's a clause contract, because I don't think Cardiff have got a boss. No. So I got a feeling Roland's got a lot of money to spend there. But anyway, that is the top 10. My two sides, my main side Anderlecht and my YouTube side Tbilisi, both are not in the top 20 anymore. But anyway, I mentioned Roland. Let's stick with Roland and let's talk about his Youth Cup. Now, Roland actually sent the Youth Cup. He's organising a small youth cup for, I think, under 21s for any side in the whole league, and he's doing a really good job. So well done, mate. He did send it to my Anderlecht account though. Roland, if you're watching this, please send it to my Tbilisi side next time. But I managed to sort it out this time, so it's no problem. And here's what he said. Here's an update from the Youth Cup. So let's go through it, shall we? A bit bigger so everyone can read it. Just making sure you can see this all right. Yep, you can. Is everything slightly better for you? Yeah, that's another story. Here's an update for the Youth Cup. Hearts is on its way to the final Group A. In Group B, it's like to be Nîmes. Lots of enthusiasm in the tournament until now. No problems. This will make it positive for the next second edition. Oh, that's good. So it looks like he's going to make another cup next season. So please take part. This is a really good idea. It encourages a bit more community and fun as well. I did manage remember the Donut Cup from Elfsborg? That was really good fun, even though the rules went a bit all over the place. So this is what's happening at the moment. Oh, he's trying to sell some players to me. Group A, it's Hearts top the table at the moment. International, and then looks like I'm trying to make. I think that's goal difference there. That's games played. That's points. So yeah, a couple more games to go there. Group B, Nîmes, and then so you've got the sides taking part: Hearts, Inter Milan, Alkashir. I don't know where they are. Leeds, obviously. Nîmes, Copenhagen, Oldham, and Galatasaray. So it's still very early stages yet. Still more games to play. Probably by next week, we will give you an update on how this is getting on. So again, he's doing a lot of work here. So well played, mate, for doing a really hard job there. And let's see how it ends up. So final bit of this episode 10, is just a quick around the league, see who's doing well, and see if it's changed since the last time. So England is having a real colossal battle between Tottenham and Bournemouth. So we've got Heidel, who took one of my players, and AFC Bournemouth, who's Fritz. Tottenham are currently top of the table with Bournemouth second. You can see there's massive goals. They've scored plenty of goals, so these guys know what players to get, what formations to use. You can see the human players are dominating the leagues. So we've got Heidel top, Fritz second, Mike third, Morton fourth, Kay fifth, Newcastle we've got Nuno sixth, and Arsenal Harold seventh. In the Championship, Bristol City are still top. It looks like Bristol City and Middlesbrough are going to be the two sides that are going to be qualified to the Premier League. But we've still got 15 games to go. Bristol City manager is Lawrence, doing an amazing job. Middlesbrough is the game master Paul. And then we've got a good battle going on. Looks like Fulham are going to be safe for playoff space. Maybe Wolverhampton under Mohammed as well. and then a good battle between Birmingham, Leeds and Sunderland for the other spaces in the playoffs. In League One, Wigan almost certainly are going to go up, unbeaten, 116 goals. They're having a really easy season under Tony. Tony's doing a marvellous job over there. You can see this is not a League One side. This is more like a Premiership side. I think they're going to have back-to-back promotions there. Blackburn looks like they're going to be safe in second under Andrew, and my beloved Oxford. I'm great to see them doing really well in third place. Well done, Dave. You're doing a great job there. And then we've got Portsmouth and Oldham. And Bury, the club that doesn't exist anymore. And in real life, they're now called, I think they're called AFC Bury now. Are bottom of the table. Just bear in mind here, the server's just gone very slow. So yeah, we got Wigan first, Blackburn second, Old Oxford third. There you go, there's Bury. And Bury and Austin are currently bottom of the table. But Austin, to be fair, has only joined a few ticks ago. So that's England. We go to Spain, and Barcelona are still top, and Madrid are third. Spain is still very quiet. There's not many human managers in that league. Portugal as the next door neighbours. Sporting are top, and it's going to be between them and Benfica, looks like it. Marcio is 3 points clear of Jose, and then Belenenses are third. Back to France. France, who started off with no managers, have now got plenty of managers, which is great to see. PSG are top, so nothing's changed there. Marseille are second. PSG's manager is Fran Canto 2, which is a multiple account. Marseille are second after Arturno. And then you've got Nantes, Saint-Etienne, Lille, Lyon. And then you've got a few more clubs here. So that's going really well there. Really competitive. Nimes having an amazing season so far. They are unbeaten. Teddy Bear's done a great job. He looks like he's another player who's got plenty of money to spend, because he's expanding stadium by 3k, so that's to be quite a bit. And he's got some really good sides. So again, this is definitely a top league side who they won't be in this division for much longer. And he's done really well there. He's already making profits and selling players. I can see buying someone for $1 million, selling him for $4 million just a couple months later. So Nimes should go straight back up. We go to Germany next. And Burnham and Baver Lucasenus first. He's doing a really good job there. Another side unbeaten. So we've got quite a few sides already unbeaten. It's going to be amazing to see all these in Champions League next year, when the Champions League is a bit more sorted. And second, we've got Schalke and Daniel. And then third, Dortmund and Eric. They're pulling ahead of Bayern Munich, who Nuno's a recent manager. Italy. Milan are top, and they're pulling way ahead. So Milan have only lost one game in the whole season. Massive stadium. Thiago, really good manager. Really good side. If Milan loses, I'd be shocked. They should not lose this. Lazio second, Inter Milan and Napoli. One of the biggest shocks you can see in that league is Juventus. Juventus are a really big name, but they are second to bottom of the division so far. They are really struggling. So it'd be interesting to keep an eye on that team, actually. If they do get relegated, they could be sort of like a fallen giant you can take back up the league. Bari and Virtus are still the top two, and the positions have not changed since the last time we checked. Turkey. Not as many managers we had before, but not much has changed. This side here, I can't pronounce, we're top, and they're still top. Thomas's side. Galatasaray is second, and again, Besiktas are still rock bottom. And their manager has not actually been on for quite a while. It looks like this manager only goes on occasionally. But there you go. Netherlands. Feyenoord are top, and they're pulling ahead now. They're 8 points clear under Matteo. Ajax are third. It's nice to see a computer side actually up there. Pek Zwolle are a computer side. No human manager. No human manager, full stop. So they're second. AZ fifth. Utrecht sixth. Bottom, Vitesse 17th. We go to Belgium, and that's where my main account is, and we lost the manager at Club Brugge. Stefan as always, is top of the Belgian league. But we did manage to get a defeat. My Anderlecht side actually managed to beat him, which was a bit of a shock. And so it's nice to actually get him, because I remember from the other game he was unbeaten nearly all the time. So I actually managed to get a defeat off him, but he did get his revenge and beat us in the cup. But yeah, I'm having fun with my Anderlecht side. We don't score many, but we've only lost 3 games so far, so that's not too bad. So that's the leagues done. Let's look for the final bit of today for the international cups, how that's progressing. So we'll look at the Champions League, and the final 8 sides have been decided, and to my shock horror, my main account Anderlecht side are still in the cup. We had a good away 2-2 draw against this Turkish side, but as you can see, if you look at the letters, BAABB, BAAB. So with the very first season, the clubs that qualify for the Champions League were all done in alphabetical order, and that is still here. So next season is really when the Champions League starts, in my opinion. No disrespect to all these sides, especially my Anderlecht side. So this is going to be interesting. I think Bernen's Bayern Leverkusen are probably the hot favourites to win this Champions League. Then it's wide open. UEFA Cup. Again, it's all the clubs that have decided were due to the alphabetical order, and these are the 8 qualifiers. Again, Fritz's Bournemouth is probably the hot favourites to win that, and they're actually drawing the quarterfinals against Antwerp. That's going to be interesting, and that's how you go. So this is the end of episode 10. Again, episode 11 will be released probably next week. Depends on certain situations, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, let me know how your super kids are getting on, your youth players are getting on, and I will feature you in this episode. But that's me saying goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.